Every headline last week about this very bill effectively getting temporarily suspended, or at least was about the withdrawal of support from you, effectively. Top 3 issues right now for you that were problematic in that bill.
Yeah, so the number one is really around payment of rewards on stablecoins. I think Americans should be able to earn more money on their money. Banks should have to compete on a level playing field, and if the American people feel like the banks are not paying high enough interest rates and stablecoin rewards can offer them more, then maybe the banks should have to pay higher interest rates to compete, right? I don't think there should be any protectionism.
Do you think that was put in directly for the banks, that was lobbied by the banks and put in?
Yes.
And look, the banks argue effectively that the stablecoin market is going to force massive withdrawals that are going to come out of the banks, that it is not an efficient system for credit in America, effectively, because the treasuries that are going to be required to back the stablecoins are not going to be used in the same way. I mean, there are arguments that I think have some validity from the banking system beyond what you think ultimately happens to the banking system and how much you care about the strength or not of it.
Yeah. Well, there is certainly a balance of where should this capital go. I mean, it can go to lending, which is important. It can also go to buying U.S. treasuries, which is also important. And I think that it's essentially going to come down to where can people earn return for the appropriate amount of risk, right? If the Fed lowers interest rates, that would push more people to seeking higher returns from a lending product, right? If they raise interest rates, it's going to keep more money at the Fed. And that's frankly what a lot of banks are doing. They're holding trillions of dollars at the Fed also that's not being lent out. And so I think what we have to realize here is that crypto can provide solutions like rewards and stablecoins. It can also build lending products. Like DeFi lending is growing enormously. Banks can provide that also. And so we should have a level playing field where everyone can compete, right, clear rules, and everyone can win.
Should you have a level regulatory framework as well? Should you be regulated the very same way the banks are, if that's the plan?
Well, the banks are doing something very different, which is called fractional reserve lending. So they're actually lending out customer deposits without their permission, essentially, right, to earn the spread, and that's what the whole banking. That's why there's such heavy oversight from banking regulation.
What's different in what you're planning on doing with your customers' assets?
So under Genius, stablecoin issuers have to hold 100% reserve. It's not fractional reserve. 100% of the assets are in short-term U.S. treasuries. It's very low risk.